Are there any nice parts of North Korea? Is there like an Aspen?
There are more than 2,000 private resorts for the Kim Jong-un.
Yes.
In these private resorts, they are all pleasure squad members waiting for him to come visit.
Pleasure squad
So
members.
these young girls in North Korea, the officials have to find the young girls who look pretty. And then when they turn 16 or 17, they send them to capital Pyongyang and train them to become, there are 3 groups in pleasure squad. The satisfactory group is where you perform in sex acts. And the other group is a happiness group, is where you learn how to massage the dictator or like give him the acupuncture like that. And the last group is the dancers and musicians.
And magicians?
Music.
Musicians.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I thought he liked magic.
He does like magic,
He does?
but like he likes the girls like naked and dancing more than that.
Yeah.
So
Most guys
Yeah.
like the naked girls more.
I prefer magic.
Yeah.
I weirdly prefer David Blaine.
Yeah. You like magic over. Okay.
Let's be friends after.
Yeah, right? Magic is so much more fun.
Wow. Okay. Now. Okay. So the video. Sometimes there are these videos you see coming out of North Korea. And they make North Korea look quite normal. It doesn't look rich.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look as poverty-stricken as people like you and others who have gone to actually lived in North Korea say. What do you say about these videos? Are they all like he'll bring up? Is it all faked? Is it all orchestrated to like trick the West? Do you even recognize this place?
It's Pyongyang. It's the capital of North Korea. Yeah, do you see that everything is a propaganda banner?
Right.
There's no ad.
All of these. Oh, there's no advertisement.
Nobody can like get a glory other than dictator.
What does that say? That
Doesn't
first
look
time.
that bad.
It's like let's follow the party's order with everything that we have.
So are these places like propped up by the regime to look nice, or are there some parts that are nicer and some parts that are more impoverished?
So Pyongyang is like have you guys watched the Hunger Games?
Yeah.
So it's like North Korea, like that. There's a capital and there's other districts.
So the capital looks nice.
Yeah, because that's called the heart of North Korea. Heart of the regime is Pyongyang. So that's why regime says as long as we can keep 10% alive, which is in Pyongyang, we are not going to do anything until other people die off from this starvation, because it's easy to do socialism when you have less people. That's why they're starving us on purpose, to let us die.
Because it's less people to take care of.
Not taking it is control. They don't take care of us. It's easy to control less population, right? And also, if we are starving, we have no energy to fight back.
Right. And they would be worried about these other places coming and obviously trying to create some sort of revolution.
Yeah, so within North Korea, we have no freedom to travel to Pyongyang.
Oh, I was going to ask you, have you ever been to Pyongyang?
I've been before my father arrested. I've been once.
Because before your father was arrested, life was not as
He was a party member. Yeah, I had a relatively fine life for North Korean standards.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Which means I had like food 3 times a day, still no electricity, no cars, no toys, still like 2 pair of clothes, no shower, no sewage, no bathroom.
Oh, and that was good for...
No refrigerator, no washer.
Wow.
That was a good North Korean lifestyle. I was not dying from starvation.
Yeah, because he was a party member.
He was, 6 million of men are party members, so it's not that significant.
Got you.
He was a party member, but still, yeah, better than most of, I guess, middle class people.
Wow. Okay, so that's why they'll let foreigners go to Pyongyang, because it gives the perception, like, oh, it's not as bad as people say.
It's a Disney World,
exactly.
Right? But the thing is, even within Pyongyang, remember that Otto Warmbier from Virginia Tech, the young man who got killed by the regime?
Yes.
Even as a tourist, when you go to North, you cannot walk around freely.
You're always accompanied.
Absolutely. Even in your hotel, you cannot. His crime was going to the wrong floor in his hotel by himself without the guard.
I'm not even pushing the floor.
Yeah.
I'm saying you push the floor.
Yeah.
I'm not even, was there an elevator? Yeah, there's got to be an elevator.
Yeah, there was in the hotel.
Yeah.
It's an elevator.
Now, where is the money coming into North Korea in order to prop up a city like that?
So, first source is coming from selling weapons. They sell the nuclear strategy to Pakistan, Syria, those countries.
How did North Korea get a nuke?
They got the technology from Soviet Union in the 60s, 70s. So they helped North Korea.
Yeah.
And the Soviets were propping them up before China.
Yeah, with China. They were like using North Korea as a buffer zone from South Korea, Japan, and America.
Right, right.
During the Cold War, they helped North Korea to build the nukes.
Okay, so they build the nukes, so they have the nukes, and that's their one, what we would call like a trump card.
Yeah.
Not actual Trump, but it's a term, right? A trump card, where it's just like, if they didn't have the nuke, most people would probably just go in there and, do regime change or something like that. But the fact that they have the nuke, it's a very dangerous proposition.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, but even before the nukes, they would not go do anything there. So I don't think there's people interested in North Korea. I don't think the argument where there's no oil is a real thing. But just somehow, I don't think the world cared about human rights that much, even till this day, that they would like go in there and change the regime.
Oh, I wasn't talking about even human rights. I was talking about like for example, if I'm China, right? Do I really want someone who I don't trust, who has nuclear weapons, leading a country, or do I want a puppet?
Oh, China is so grateful because North Korea makes them look good. I mean, imagine, like, without North Korea.
Yeah, it's like when a pretty girl has an ugly friend,
Exactly.
right? So you have to walk around with the ugly friend so people go, oh my God, she's so
Unless
ugly. You
you're
don't
not
even
that
notice.
bad, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, not even a pretty girl, like a medium girl with an ugly friend.
Yeah.
Oh, because as long as we're talking about North Korea, we're not talking about what China's doing with the Uyghurs.
Yeah, it's not as bad. Nothing is gonna be compared to what North Korea does, right?
Oh, wow.
So we're not gonna talk about Chinese human rights abuses as much.
Interesting.
That's the one reason why they want them to be there. Also, everything is under Chinese control.
So that was the other thing that I heard you say. So China bought, I guess, the mineral rights and the
Yeah,
mining rights
yeah.
for all of North Korea.
They like lent the lands for 300 years.
So basically it says,
It's
yeah.
theirs now.
Yeah.
It's like we are colonized by China.
Yeah.
But not only that, like North Korea has no oil, right, themselves. So they cannot, even like if test nukes without the oil. So China got that line for them because nobody in the world can give them the oil.
Oh, that's right, because they're an embargo.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to, they could just stop
Stop the
oil.
oil, just 1 week, the regime collapses.
Oh, wow.
So China's propping it up.
Yeah, they don't let them. Like even during the pandemic, they were like in the dark, in the black market, they would give him the oil. In the behind the scene. New York Times actually covered that up. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting. I thought that they were just creating a buffer zone, which is quite common with countries. Is
Yeah.
you want a little bit of like it's similar to what's happening right now with like Russia and like Ukraine.
Yeah.
It's like Ukraine didn't join up with what is it called again?
NATO?
The
NATO. They didn't join up with NATO, and then Russia was like, okay, there's a buffer right here. We don't have NATO on the doorstep. We got something that might be like neutral. We don't know. And the second they talk about maybe joining up with NATO, it's like, no, we're in there. We can't do it. But what you're saying is interesting. It's a publicity stunt almost. They're keeping this country impoverished, enabling the poverty. So people talk about the atrocities going on there instead of the atrocities going on in their country.
Right.
Now, my question is, would the world care? It seems like we don't care what China does to their people in the same way we don't care what Saudi Arabia does to Yemen. Like,
Yeah.
it seems like as long as we're getting something from them or we need something from them, that we just kind of look the other way with a civil rights situation.
But that's what I try to change right now.
Yeah.
To make people care.
Yeah.
Because I think people don't realize how dangerous a threat is really, right? It's what I'm afraid of is already there. North Korea is too big to fail. Their nukes, they have a capability of attacking actually mainland America. And while we are getting so destroyed with each other and fighting, infighting, everything, the enemies are keep growing, and their only goal is destroying America.
That's
North
all-
Korea's only goal is destroying America.
Why do they hate us so much?
Because this country stands up for freedom and human rights, individual liberty, and all the things that North Koreans cannot have.
Our culture is very seductive, and it kind of erodes the ideology.
Of these totalitarian states.
Yeah.
So as long as there's a free society exists, it's a threat to their
Yeah.
ruling, right? People want to be like us. They
Yeah.
want to escape to America. We don't escape to North Korea.
Yeah.
So that's why North Korean regime and Chinese regime understand that if they want to make this a norm, the dictatorships as a norm in the world,
Yeah.
they need to destroy democracy.
Yes, but even China has, I think, relaxed their policy on capitalism for sure. right?
Not when it comes to control of the people. It got so bad.
But even recently, the people protested the COVID regulations, and then the government acquiesced. The government said, okay, fine, you guys want to go out there and get COVID, go get some COVID. It's like the first time in like 100 years that this has happened where the government basically relented, yeah.
Right. I think that was new about COVID. Like that people really fed up in China.
Yeah.
But even till this day, like we have people trying to rescue North Koreans from China.
Yeah.
You cannot get on a bus without your ID and government authorization. You cannot go to the next town without going through a checkpoint. And it became everything is isolated prison within China, like North Korea.
I also think that, and this speaks to the North Korea, why it's so much more difficult to do in North Korea. I think that like China has a much bigger middle class. And I think when you have a much bigger middle class, they have more power in a revolution.
Right.
And North Korea does not have that at all.
Like, we don't have zero middle class.
Zero. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Question about COVID. Did COVID go through North Korea?
Yeah, it did.
And a lot of people were infected?
A lot.
And how did it transmit into the country? Do you know?
It had to be China because they're the only trading partner, and then COVID is from China. So
But it was through trading that people actually got sick.
nobody really knows. But North Korea did have COVID.
Oh, interesting.
How do you still get information of what's going on in North Korea?
So that's a big operation. Like literally so funny when I talk to my North Korean almost brokers, we have to talk about like sugar and candy. It's all about like, how we try to rescue some people. So North Korea has no internet. They don't have international cell service. So we need to smuggle a Chinese phone through the border to North Korean border.
Wow.
Then it's closed, region is so close, they have the Chinese reception. So from America, we call Chinese number. But the border North Korean agent, they can accept the call. And sometimes the FaceTiming. But the government, North Korean government, do jams and watches and listens to all these calls. So we need to go to the deep mountain in the bike, do the 30-second call. So on the bike in their hoodie, and they talk for 30 seconds. And then about what we want to know, like how things are going, like, what we want to is like get out of North Korea. Then they need to go several miles and do another call. It takes a interesting mission, act of Congress to make one phone call to North Korea.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with the geography that much, but are there places where they can access water, and then like take the ocean?
Some people do. They
like
do
in Cuba, for example, that's how people obviously get here. They'll just make a boat.
You cannot do that in North Korea. There's a police. Even the ocean is sealed by the guards.
The entire ocean.
Whole country is a prison camp. Entire country is sealed by the regime. It's a prison camp. Entire thing is. So some people swam for 15 days to Japan.
What?
Literally swam. A son and father, miraculously they swam in the freezing winter, like end of October. That's North Korea winter. They somehow survived.
Wow.
Escaped to Japan and South Korea. Yeah.
Wow. And what do the other countries in the region think about this? Do they talk about it all? Are they concerned about it all? Is Japan concerned about what people in North Korea are going through? Like, I'm trying, do they have empathy for it, or is it, I don't know, is there like a kind of like lasting impasse where they kind of look the other way?
So they do have a sympathy, Japanese, but they're more scared because whenever North Korea tests nucleus, it goes above them. Can drop on
That's
them.
right.
Yeah, they've already gone through that once.
Oh,
Exactly.
wow. Yeah,
So that's their real problem they actually have, that it can just drop on them, and anytime North Korea shoots a missile.
Now, you also said South Koreans look down on North Koreans.
Yeah.
That was kind of surprising to me. I thought there would be a lot more sympathy for what they have to go through. Well, can you talk about that?
I think this is where Americans don't know how other countries are so racist. How exceptional America is.
Yeah.
Yeah, in South Korea, they discriminate literally. All the people come from poor countries. That includes, I'm so sorry, India,
You're not
Philippines, Thailand, Vietnam, and North Korea too. We are very poor.
Yeah.
And they look up to people coming from the Western European countries who are white. And so, yeah, even though we speak the same language, we have same genetics, same history, we are same Korean, they just discriminate us because we are coming from a poor country.
Do they have any funny jokes about you guys?
Oh my God, I mean, a lot of stereotypes.
Okay, good.
What are the stereotypes?
We
What are
like
the
this.
stereotypes?
So,
Super heavy. No.
I know. So,
Yeah.
South Korea is a democracy and free market, so they need to be competitive.
Yeah.
So they have a saying about the communist North Koreans don't work hard as much as they do, or they are not as competitive. They don't understand capitalism. And then they are not trustworthy
Not trustworthy.
because we believe that like all the propaganda, so we can like worship Kims, right, in front of camera. So they think like, oh, they don't care, like we have to do that to protect our families. They just lie in front of camera and worshiping dictator like that.
Oh, so they think you'll believe anything.
Yeah.